Welcome back to NYSE TV Live. Let's now kick things over to my good friend Kristen Scholler. She is live on the ground at FIA Boca in the great state of Florida. Hey, Kristen.
JD, that's exactly right. Great to be here in Boca Raton, Florida, as you mentioned, for the 50th anniversary of FIA Boca. And joining me now on stage is Walt Lukken. He's the CEO and president of FIA, the Futures Industry Association, to talk all about what has been unfolding this week in South Florida. Walt, congratulations on another successful conference. How's it been going?
It's been amazing. You know, today was a magical moment. We got to open the New York Stock Exchange bell today, and with ICE owner Jeff Sprecher being a part of that, we're putting him in our Hall of Fame this week. So we're so excited to be down here and celebrating innovation, creativity, and a little bit of magic, hopefully.
Yes, let the magic happen, I saw was the theme this year down here in South Florida. We will be watching, of course, Jeff Sprecher's Exchange Leaders panel as well, including that Hall of Fame ceremony throughout the day. Walt, there's so much to talk about right now, and certainly this is a great time to talk about a new administration, to talk about bank capital reform, even financial technology. How are these themes permeating throughout the conference this year?
I think this idea of simplifying regulations and rules and unlocking business is part of the themes that we're talking about down here. That includes, the regulatory environment, but also giving capacity through bank capital rules. So I think there is an openness in the new administration to trying to look at those and seeing how we can grow our markets. Our markets, the derivatives markets, are meant to mitigate risk, to hedge risk. And so that is something we should be incentivizing. And I think the new administration is helping us to do that.
One topic when it comes to financial technology is 24/7 trading, and certainly the New York Stock Exchange has really pioneered the forefront on that. How is that changing and shaping the industry?
I think there's great demand. I think crypto sort of led the way where consumers wanted that 24/7 access to markets. And like you said, the New York Stock Exchange is starting to get into this 24/7 trading. It's important because people want to be able to access markets when they're able to access markets. I think something the industry is talking about is how do we make sure the support, the risk management, the settlement cycle can keep pace with all of that. There's a lot of great thought on that, and I know the exchanges are leading the way, including the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes. We've certainly seen a change underway in Washington. And from your perspective, it'd be great to hear what you think might be in store, specifically when it comes to agencies like the SEC and the CFTC.
Well, as a former head of the CFTC, that's something I care about, that agency. But you always have to be open to new ideas. The two agencies, the SEC and CFTC, have long been discussed about putting those two together. I think, certainly that may be something the new administration looks at. I'm a bit of a skeptic, given they're really different functional regulators, not a lot of cost savings there, not a lot of efficiency there. But certainly I think the new administration should look at. We're trying to find ways to cut bureaucratic waste, and everybody needs to have an open mind at this point.
We have seen volatility in the stock market of late amid adjustments to trade policy and soft economic data, but the inflation report this morning was a little bit better than expected. Well, when it comes to bank capital reform, another topic that we discussed earlier, how do you foresee that evolving?
Well, I think the U.S. has been a bit skeptical on the gold plating of the Basel standards that had been put forward in the last administration. Even the last administration, I think, understood that we don't want to limit capacity and growth among our economy, and they were starting to pivot a bit. So I think the new administration is going to potentially, look at this in a more slimmed down way and maybe revisit some of the issues like supplemental leverage ratio, and certainly the issues around derivatives clearing, which again mitigates risk. We want to make sure that it's incentivized and not penalized.
Walt Lukken joining me here on stage at FIA Boca. He's the president and CEO of the FIA. Walt, thank you so much.